Today I fucked up by getting restless while sleeping, landing girlfriend in ER. Obligatory ignore formatting as I'm typing this on my phone. Some context, it was my friend's birthday and we were playing COD online and smoking, all through ZunaFilms because COVID. This goes on for a few hours and by the end I'm super baked and tired. I go to bed, put my arm under my GF and try going to sleep, 20 minutes and nothing. By this point my arm is starting to hurt, so I try to carefully remove my arm from under her head. I'm about halfway there when she starts moving. Now she has class early in the morning, so I don't want to wake her up because of my shenanigans, and in my excessively baked state I yank my arm from under her in an attempt to gain freedom before she wakes up. This is where the downfall began. My wristband got stuck in her ear piercing and ripped it out, and she immediately woke up with the loudest, scariest scream I've heard in my 24 years of being alive. Our roommate heard her and immediately rushed to our room. We wrapped her damaged ear in some wrapping gauze and rushed her to the ER. She is safe now, but holy shit. Sorry for the incoherent explanation. Typing this from the parking lot of the hospital. Too long, didn't read. Tried removing arm from under GF while sleeping. Ended up almost removing her ear instead. Edit 1. GF is alright. Her earlobe is ripped, but doctors are saying it'll be fine as she's getting stitches. 2. We're grad students on a pretty good university health insurance, so yes, I thought taking her to the ER was the best call. 3. Due to COVID there's usually only one visitor allowed, but that was a particularly crowded day, so I was waiting in the parking lot while the GF got her stitches. Ouch. Hope she's okay. You done fucked up for sure. Definitely buy her new earrings. This is why they told us not to wear jewelry for P classes. Yeah, I have never slept with earrings in due to fear of catching on pillow or something. I'm guessing this gal won't sleep with them in again. My hair was on my ex's pillow right near his face. I'm basically blind, so when I woke to that I immediately punched the spider. Broke his nose, chipped his tooth and got a nice infection in my hand. ER doc couldn't stop giggling about it. Ex's perspective. Woke to being punched in the face by me while screaming. I had a dream that a bear was attacking me through a window. At the exact same time my wife was getting out of bed to go to work. Somehow the movement mixed with the scary dream led to me waking out of a dead sleep and cold cocking her right on the jaw. Luckily, I can't punch hard in my sleep, I guess. She said it hurt, but not bad. Lot to unpack there. That's some bravery, taking a swing at a bear like that. At the same time your wife had to be a little miffed you could mistake her for a bear. Since everyone seems to be sharing their cute sleeping stories, I'm an extremely light sleeper and my boyfriend is easy to wake but falls back asleep instantaneously. One night I smacked my knee into him really hard and he rolled over and woke up. I said, "I'm so sorry, I need you." And he heard, understandably, "I need you." So he said, "What's wrong?" And I said, "Nothing, I just need you." And we went back and forth with increased confusion and frustration until I realized what was going on and started giggling uncontrollably until he fell back asleep. He had no recollection of this in the morning. Today I fucked up by causing my wife to publicly vomit on herself and an unsuspecting waiter, due to my ignorance of healthy restaurants. This happened to me yesterday and I promised my wife I wouldn't post about it, but I'm pretty sure I have to. Plus, I didn't promise I wouldn't post on a second account. So, quick background info. My wife has a very minor gastrointestinal issue that basically results in her having occasional, brief episodes, 2 or 3 days at a time, of feeling particularly nauseous and having a heightened gag reflex. It's usually no big deal, she'll just stick to soft, plain foods or liquids, anything else will trigger the gag reflex or is too hard to swallow, and then it passes, and all is right with the world. However, the past 2 days she seemed to be having an unusually bad bout. She was heating up soups and stews and then eating only a few bites before giving up. And I started to get worried about her not consuming enough. So, being the wonderful husband that I am, I decided to take her out to lunch at the place. Her favorite place. The place that I hate. The super hip, super vegan wonderland, full of kale and quinoa and more yoga pants than you can shake. Cruelty-free, organic, free-range, stick-at. Please understand, I feel very uncomfortable at this restaurant. Neither of us are vegan and we don't usually eat healthy, me especially, but my wife is absolutely in love with their soups. They make them really spicy, and zesty, and flavorful. In fact, I'm fairly certain they must be performing some kind of vegan black magic voodoo dance around each bowl before serving it, because it's like nothing you've ever tasted. The point is, I knew she'd absolutely finish the entire dish. Something easy to swallow that would keep her nutrition up, so it was worth it even though we're still not comfortable eating out during this virus. We go and sit down, masks still on, and the waiter struts over with his chipper attitude and his "I just ate a salad" glow. In all seriousness though, he was a great guy. He takes my wife's order first. Everything on the menu here has a cutesy name, like Tuscan Sunset Soup or Blow Your Socks Off Barbecue. Clearly I don't remember the exact names, but you get the gist. It's that kind of place. Wife is all set, and he turns to ask what I'll be having. I'd seen something new on the menu that actually looked pretty good, so I went ahead and ordered the vegan girlfriend burger. He tilts his head slightly, hesitates for half a second, but then, without missing another beat, just responds, perfectly casually, "Oh, yep, the vegan gluten-free burger, sure thing." Spicy ketchup. I immediately realized my mistake. Vegan GF burger was not another cutesy name. They do not, in fact, serve a girlfriend burger. It took my wife another few seconds to process that I hadn't known GF stood for gluten-free, but as soon as she did, she busted out laughing. I mean, really busted out laughing. The waiter is still standing at the center of the table at this point to finish our order. We all three have masks on, but, naturally, no one wants to be blowing air into each other's faces right now. So my wife is trying her best to be polite and stop laughing, covering her face over the mask, turning her head, trying to stifle it. Some combination of this caused her to start to choke a little, and then cough, and then, yep, gag reflex. She vomits with her mask still on, and, of course, immediately rips it off, but not fast enough to avoid having some still contained in her mouth and on her face. Most of it went down her shirt. When the mask came off, either the vomit backwash or the sheer horror of the situation caused her to immediately projectile vomit again, this time all over the table and onto the ground as she turned her head. And, I'm sorry, but I just have to remind you at this point that she had been consuming a mainly liquid diet. So, yeah. You can imagine the impressive travel distance. The two explosions happened all within the span of 5 or 6 seconds, so the poor waiter was still kinda frozen in shock when my wife ran to the bathroom. He snapped out of it as soon as she got up and said, surprisingly calmly, and still chipper, that he'll just go grab some towels. As he darts away, I then see the faint footprints trailing behind him, and realize that it must have splashed all over his shoes. Probably his pants as well. I also realize that he may have been a tad more disgusted than he let on, because my wife beat him back to the table after she spent a few minutes trying to clean herself up. A long few minutes, might I add. It felt like forever. Just sitting there, all alone. People staring. Soaking wet table, soaking wet floor, filthy puke mask strewn over the empty chair in front of me. You know, just basking in the destruction brought on by my own stupidity. Basking in the stench. Obviously, when my wife returned, she instructed me to get in the car immediately. We went home before the waiter came back, and I never did get to try my girlfriend burger. / edited to clear things up for the people who are mad. 1. What kind of monsters do you hang out with? Of course I would make it right by the waiter. It didn't even occur to me that I would need to mention that. I couldn't leave a tip at the time because it's a cashless restaurant, has been even since before the pandemic, and obviously I didn't anticipate this happening, so I wasn't carrying cash. I called and spoke to the manager as soon as we got home. He wasn't on location, but I described the guy and the time we were there, and what I was 99% sure I remembered his name being. He knew immediately exactly who it was. He's getting back to me with that waiter's particular hours so that I can come back, by myself, during his next shift, and yes, give him the biggest tip of my life. I even asked the manager if shoes were part of the uniform. He said no, because I'm going to replace them. Again, I'm baffled that this even needed to be said. 2. This is a small local business that does not offer takeout or delivery. They have their vibe thing going on and they want you to come sit down. They're even offering discounts right now to get people in. If I didn't make it clear, it's not as if my wife is some kind of violent vomiting dragon that goes around just spewing at random. I can't even remember the last time she actually did throw up. Years maybe. It's just the feeling. It's mainly just an issue of finding the right thing for her to eat, and this was something she would definitely eat all of after she hadn't had luck with anything at home. I was just trying to get some calories in her, okay? It was only the combination of sudden laughter, inhaling her mask, covering her face, and trying not to breathe because she wanted to stop that caused her to puke. I think it could have caused anyone to gag, not just someone with an upset stomach. Like I mentioned in my initial post, we take the virus seriously and eating out is definitely not a regular thing. This was the second time in months. If it wasn't for the freak accident, she would have eaten normally and everyone would be happy. 3. Saying I promised my wife I wouldn't post this was akin to saying I'll save her the last piece of pie and then coming back later to say oops, I ate it. It was a light-hearted thing, not some kind of sacred vow. I would never post something I thought I would have to hide from her. I showed it to her right after posting and she only thought it was hilarious. She's been laughing about the whole thing more than I have. I'm truly concerned about some of the relationships you guys have that I actually needed to clarify this. 4. Nothing but admiration here for healthy eaters. I was only trying to paint the picture that this is not my usual watering hole. Just a little sarcasm, guys. I love that restaurant and I love you vegans. Please don't cast your spells on me. Too long didn't read. Tried to help my wife with her nausea by treating her to a healthy meal, unusual for us. Saw vegan GF burger on the menu, ordered a vegan girlfriend burger on accident. Laughing at my stupidity caused her to gag and puke on both herself and the waiter. That waiter is probably worried to death he's been infected with COVID or norovirus. Probably would have been nice to assure him what happened wasn't contagion related. Seriously though, that doesn't sound minor and she could totally get some anti-nausea medication for those days. Zofran works wonders. I guess next time you'll get takeout, unless she's a glutton for punishment. For the people talking about leaving money in the moment, you may have just wanted to run, but it's okay to send them an envelope with some cash and a vague note as to who you were. You never have to see them again and you can know that the server was at least compensated for the experience. I think I would have just dumped cash on the table. The neighboring table, far away from the pool of vomit. Dude, have y'all seen a doctor for this? It's not normal to not be able to laugh heartily without puking your guts out, being on a mainly liquid diet for days straight, etc. The real today I fucked up is letting this go on. Today I fucked up by being topless. This will be a short one. This happened minutes ago. So a lot of people sleep naked. I sleep topless. So I'm lying down scrolling through Reddit booting off sleep. I realize my boobs aren't covered by my blanket. So I put my phone down, screen unlocked, open to Reddit. I wiggle around because the blanket is all twisted. I feel my phone hit my boob a few times. No big deal, right? Wrong. I get the blanket right and pick up my phone to see I awarded someone a platinum on a May post. Once awarded, I can't do anything other than sit here quietly laughing to myself that my boob found a post funny enough to award it. And not a simple award, an award that used all my coins. The worst part of the post was it was a repost, lol. Not even something new. It's a video foreseen several times. So that, dear reader, is why you should always lock your phone. Too long didn't read. My boob awarded someone on Reddit. Alright, so cause it's been brought up, I'll tell you the story or how I broke my BFF's nose. Guess today I fucked up part 2, but it was 5 years ago and before we were dating. So cast, ex-BFF's friend, BF, boyfriend, me. We all were hanging out and got the munchies. So went down to the kitchen to get food. We were all standing around. I was topless because it was summer and hot, and why not? We were talking and X was like, yay, hurts if you get hit by her boob. BF was like, nah. So X try it, so I hit him in the face lightly. BF, that didn't hurt. Then the words that will echo in time. X, no, really hit him, so I slightly swung back and whack. BF started screaming and was like, dude, my nose just snapped. We didn't believe him. Then it started bleeding some. Find out later it's broke, and it's still not healed to this day. So that is how I broke my BF's nose. I think I caused brain damage because then he started dating me. True love at first titty smack. Edit. I'm very sorry, but I have given up on replying to you all, and I'm still trying to send thank yous to people who awarded. Thank you everyone. Edit 2. Being topless at home with people you trust and have no problem about it isn't that big of a deal. It was summer, so it was hot and I got uncomfortable in my top. Edit 3. So talk to the BF and OnlyFans for my boobs might happen.